Hey y'all, good evening. Hello, everybody. So excited once again to be here for another live chat. This is Nights with Nora, guys, and my topic today is love lessons. Hello, ladies, check in with me. Remember to you have to sign in to StreamYard to be for your name to come up in the chat. And we're back again. Let me get situated. Is my necklace all right? Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to be here as usual. I'm back 2 days in a row. So this is Nights with Nora, and today I'm talking about some love lessons. And I say love lessons because I mean lessons that I've learned since I started this love journey. And even before I started my love journey, and I call my love journey relationships, romantic relationship, because obviously we're in relationship with people all the time. But I just want to give you guys a couple of gems on love lessons tonight. So I hope you guys can hear me and that y'all in the building. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I'm just excited to be here as usual. So y'all say hello to me and we'll get started tonight. I'm so happy to be here. Before I get started tonight, I just want to remind you guys once again that you guys need to sign up for the vision board party this month. It is happening January 23rd at 7 p.m. It is a virtual vision board party. It will be very, very good. It will help you set goals and planning for the year and just many, many things to get you on the ball, to get your goals and some achievements done in 2021. In the middle of a pandemic, we were able to get so much done. And I want to share with you ladies, along with myself and three other powerful powerhouse women, some of our secrets to success in 2021 and ways to get ready to accomplish those goals this year. So I appreciate you ladies for tuning in. I thank you so much for everyone who is watching, and y'all continue to support and love me. I'm just so excited and I'm always happy to be a part of this. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. And I will go ahead and get started. Okay, so love lessons. Oh my goodness, love lessons, y'all. So the first lesson that I learned um, is just wait. Okay. You just have to wait on God. There were so many times in my life when people were trying to rush me through this process. They were trying to get me to be in a place that I was not ready to be in, and it was just that wait, y'all, waiting on a man to come, waiting to be in a relationship and just wishing I could be in that place in those lonely nights at home and wishing I could be somewhere that I was not. Those days are trying, and to hear from other married women saying, "Oh, God is going to send you a man," and this and this and that, but never seeing that come into fruition. It was so defeating. It was so much for me at that time, but I continue to hold fast to the promises that God put in my heart so many, many years ago. And I did not let up. I did not give up on the promises God had for me during that time. But the wait, y'all, that weight that weight is so hard. It's so trying when you scroll through Facebook and you see people getting married and you see them having children and being engaged and buying homes and all the things that people do when they finally get in a stable relationship. I wanted that for myself. I wanted that for myself bad. But here's my lesson. I learned to wait on God. I learned to enjoy the season that I was in at that time and not to long for things that were not mine for the taking at that time. Because there's beauty in the here and now. There's beauty in who you are right now as a woman, whether that is single, married, dating, wherever you are at right now. Think about the beauty that is right here and now, about the freedom that you have. I know that we long and pray for things that we do not have, but there is beauty in what we don't have. I remember coming home every day from work and my house being completely spotless, y'all. I had no noise, no dirt, none of that problem. And now I got three little crumb snatchers and my house is an absolute mess. Well, back then I took that for granted. And now that I'm looking back on it, I'm like, God, I wish I wouldn't have took this for granted. So, but anyway, I did. and it's been my life lessons. It's been things that I learned along the way of this journey. So if you're waiting, if you're a lady in waiting and you're feeling kind of burnt out or lovelorn and you're feeling like, man, God, when are you ever going to come? Hey, Lexi. It's just a time for us to just keep going. Don't stop. Keep believing in whatever you're doing. Get busy with what you're doing right now and know that God is still on the throne, okay? And that He still has something in store for you and that you are special. You are made by Him and He knows the time. We may not know the time, but He does. And it may feel like forever, but God got you, okay? So just wait. My second love lesson. What else did I learn? Oh my God, y'all! I learned so much in this season. One thing I learned that I can share with you, ladies, is to set expectations. To begin to set expectations and goals and rules for your dating life. As we dig into next month, it's February. It's going to be the love month, and I'm going to talk a lot about the vow. A long time ago, 5 years ago, we made a vow to be a woman of purpose. That means dating with a purpose, having an aim for our goal in relationships, and just really kind of maxing that thought process of being a woman. So we went as far as to take a vow to be a lady in waiting, and that means abstaining from dating people and just hanging out. We wanted to date with a purpose. And now, if you're dating and just hanging out, then that's on you. You can do that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if you're seriously ready to settle down and meet that guy, I think that you should go about that with a purpose. And with that, you should set boundaries and have expectations. How many times a week are we calling? Are we going out on dates? You need to have rules and regulations set in place to what you will and will not take. So expectations was a big thing for me. I wanted to lay down my expectations of what I wanted out of a relationship. Okay, y'all, because sometimes we're out there blind. We don't know what to expect. But when you have expectations, and I'm not saying make them high or unrealistic, I'm just saying having some rules of thumb. If I'm dating, I don't spend the night. When I go out and eat with a guy, he's gonna pay. Those are the expectations that I'm talking about. Because if you don't set expectations for your dates and for the things that you're doing, you will end up kind of like all over the place. And men will think that when you don't have boundaries, why should they have boundaries? And, just simple things like, hey, I don't kiss on the first date or I don't have sex on the first date because some of y'all was wow. Even in your 30s. But what I say to that is that you need to have expectations. And I think that helped me kind of guide me through my dating life because there was things that I would and would not tolerate. Okay. And definitely when I realized that I had rules and regulations, the dud stopped. Y'all, because let me tell you something. I had a man who met me at a restaurant on a bike. Like, what? Why are you meeting me here on a bike? So my rule became you must have a car. If you're over 25, you got to have a car. I'm obliged to say 21. Like I don't think you should be out in the world without a vehicle at 25. 21 is pushing it, but 25, 30 years old without a car, for me that's a no-go. I don't do men without cars. And so that was some of the things I did in this whole thing is when I was setting expectations. And if you guys are on here and you see this video, please share it into my Girl Talk group and onto my page or your page. Just share the video because I don't know if it even shared. I'm trying to figure out how to work everything here. But what I will say is we've got to set those expectations, y'all. We've got to set expectations. We've got to start to really understand that it's those goals are important because people will run all over you. And let me tell you something, sweet girls. Let me tell you something, nice girls. You ones who want to help these men get through these different stages of life. Listen, if that man can't help himself, then he's not going to be able to help you. Relationship goes one on one. Never get into the situation where you're a helpmate because guess where you're going to stay? Or not a helpmate, or you're being allowed to use where people are allowing you to play the role of a mother and you're just like their little helper. Once you start doing that in the beginning, you're going to have to do that for the rest of the relationship. So set the tone early, and that comes back to expectations. Okay. So, What else did I have on my love? Love, it's a statement out there that says love don't cost a thing. That's a lie. Love is going to cost you everything. It's going to cost you your time. It's going to cost you, maybe dreams are going to be compromised, goals. And I say all of that because, one, you're going to become one with your partner. You're no longer going to be separated from who your partner is. You'll be back in one ship with your partner. And so for me, it just really, really strikes a chord with me that you have to, absolutely have to. And I'm gonna take a pause, y'all, because it's nobody on here anyway, which is good. And I'm just gonna check something out, y'all. I do love you ladies, and I appreciate all y'all support and y'all getting out here and helping and doing all the stuff that y'all doing and listening to me. I'm just one woman, y'all, out here on a complete mission to try to save folks. I absolutely love it though. So if you guys give me just a second here. Um, Ladies, give me just a second here. I just I absolutely adore conversations about relationships because they're so special to me, y'all. They are so near and dear to my heart when I think about relationships and how they help women and how they can tear women down. And I think that's why I wanted to dig into relationships so hard because I know that there are so many women who lack good, healthy, positive relationships with men. And sometimes you get into the wrong relationship with a man and he'll take you for everything you got and more. Thanks, sis. Are you having fun out there in California? I know y'all is. But I'm just talking to the ladies tonight about love and just choosing the right partner and some lessons that I learned on my long journey. Me and my sister's been on this long quest, y'all, to find a husband. We was on a long journey to find a husband, and not just any husband, y'all. We were on a journey to find a good husband, to find a good man, someone who would love and support and connect with us on levels that we hadn't seen. And I was coming out of a lifestyle where no one else was married, and so it takes a lot out of me to try to find this love for myself when I didn't have any real true examples. Which brings me to my next love lesson is that you must get a mentor. Oh my God. That's something that we have to do. You know, we have to find someone who can help us, who can help us get to the next level in love, someone who can tell us nay or yay, you know, because sometimes when you're coming from a place where you're a generational curse breaker, and that's somebody who's breaking barriers for a generation that it's never happened before, to have a healthy, productive marriage, you might need to get outside of yourself in order to find that for yourself. And so for me, that looked at a lot like uh getting in there and doing that myself and finally going out and doing the work to find someone to help me navigate marriage, because how the heck do I do marriage? I've never been married before. I don't know what marriage consists of, so I needed to go and get help for that. So um for me, I had to do that, y'all. Sorry, my computer is acting a fool today, and I just really want to share this. I really do. But these are just my love lessons, y'all. These are just thoughts and things that I had about myself. And I just really, when I get into these things, when I get into love lessons, that is just some of the things that come to mind. And it wasn't easy, y'all. It wasn't easy coming about into the life that I am now. You know, it wasn't easy to be um, who I am now. You know, um, it wasn't something that people always thought would happen. So let me tell you guys something too about the naysayers. It was a lot of people in my life who told me, you know, yeah, right, that this wouldn't be you, and you're a nun, and different things about who I was as an individual. And the reason why is because I went so many years without having a boyfriend. So people thought that that wouldn't ever happen to me. But just hold on to yourself. And I guess I'm speaking to ladies out there who are not average. When I say average, there is no takeaway from people um who do date, or do whatever they do. This is not personal. This is not a jab, but I'm just giving y'all my personal experience. These are Nora's love lessons. What I learned is that I was who God made me to be. And if that was a 25-year-old version, then oh well, that's who God made me to be. I had to be who I was no matter what. I couldn't be anybody else. And neither can you guys be. So if you're waiting and people are pressuring you and saying, "Oh, you need to do this or you should go over here and you could stay here and do that," then this man will come. Another love lesson comes into play. It doesn't matter about the place. It's not the location that you're in, y'all. You can move to California, you can go to Georgia, you can go to school, you can stay at home. If that man ain't there and it ain't your time, he is not going to show up for you at that time. So it's not about location. It's not about location. It's about obedience to God. When you begin to follow God's steps and get in sync with Him, He will direct your path. He will position the people for you because sometimes you're simply not ready to submit. If you can't submit to God, you won't be able to submit to a husband. And it's kind of like, and you can go get married. Okay, you can go get married and you can do whatever you want out of your own strength and your own power, but it won't last. And if it does, you're forced it. You want it to be a God thing. You want it to be something that God invested in, that God okayed. I know a lot of people rush to their fathers or their parents or mentors to try to get approval for their marriages and stuff. But did you consult God about the man that you were wanting to marry? Did you consult God about the relationship that you're pursuing? Because He foremost knows the one you're pursuing and He knows you. So wouldn't you ask Him, not your mother, not your friend, but talk to God? I just love that. Okay, I got a question. Do you in love? Well, don't hunt for it. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Don't hunt for it. Don't look it up. Because you know what? That's a wild goose chase. And let me go back to this. Men are supposed to pursue women, not the other way around. I know that sometimes you got to nudge these fools out here because they can't see when people like them right here in their face, but you need to allow that man to chase you. Okay. You need to allow that man to chase you, to pursue you, to get after you, to do those things for you. Okay. Because, like I said earlier, once you start off doing everything in a relationship, you're going to have to do everything going forward. And that's the mistake that a lot of women make is they start off babying men and holding their hands and kind of like giving way more than of themselves than what the man is willing to give. The concept I think behind that is the more love I can love him into loving me. And that's not always true. I can't love a man into loving me. He has to want that for himself. So that's another love lesson I found, y'all, that you can't make a man love you. You can't cook him to death. You can't sex him to death. You can't text him to get death. You can't do none of those things to make a man love you. He has to love you on his very, very own. So tonight I'm sharing love lessons. I'm dropping gems. I got so much more to come, y'all. Like I've done 30 years of singleness. 30 years. Okay, so I guess we weren't thinking about that at 5. So we'll say 30 because I'm 35 now. So that would put me at about 5 years old when I probably had my first crush. So I've been waiting for true love probably about 30 years. So I have a lot of experience being a single woman, y'all. So this is nothing for me. Yes, I'm married now, but I've only been married for 2 years. I was single for 30 years. So there is not much about being a single woman or nook or cranny that I have not explored. I know the lonely nights. I know the hoping that they'll call you back. I know the dud dates, the hell dates. And I already told y'all my crazy hell date where I went on a date with this guy and he shows up on a bike and didn't have nobody's money. Nobody's money. And then like the crazy part about the date is I was on the date with my sister, which was probably already a no-no in the first place. Don't bring your sibling to the date. But anyway, Love lessons, right, y'all? I just learned so much on my journey of being a single woman. I learned so much about myself. I learned that I needed to travel and to explore the world and get my own mind right, because if I'm not right, I can't be with another person. It's not your half and my half and we come together as one. It's one whole plus one whole. You need to be a complete person within yourself in order to mix in with someone else and yoke up and link up and be in someone else's life. You can't come in there looking for a doctor, and nobody wants all that baggage. And of course we're human and we're gonna go in with some kicks, some kinks and some things about ourselves that may be fixing. But I'm talking about fundamental breakdowns, y'all. Fundamental soul breakdowns that you go into these relationships dragging and expecting these already broken men to fix those for you. That's not always going to be the case, sis. We need to really dig into ourselves. So one lesson I learned is go to therapy. Go to therapy. If you're broken, if you've been in an abusive situation, if you have childhood trauma, go to therapy. I encourage you to get help. Seek God. Get some therapy, get some help, go evaluate yourself. There is not always a time in your life that you need to be lunging yourself into relationships as a broken person. Okay. So that is kind of my biggest lessons. And I have so many more to share with you guys as we go through this process. I hope you guys trust me to be your coach as we go into the vow. The vow is going to be so good, y'all. It's going to knock your socks off. I'm going to have myself and other speakers come in and talk to you guys about relationships and how to cultivate and how to be in a place of goodness and prepare yourself for your future husbands, because there is preparation to be done. And you don't have to focus even on the man. This is about you, your heart, your spirit, and the things that you love as a woman. We're going to talk about love languages. Does anybody know their love language? We're going to talk about why love languages are so important for each and every one of you ladies, because I know that I'm out here struggling. I didn't even know that, that words of affirmation meant so much to me until I found out my love language is words of affirmation. That's why I feel so good when people tell me I'm doing a good job. So make sure y'all telling me I'm doing a good job. So all of those things come into play when you're talking about your love language and your love for yourself. And for me, my love lessons. I learned so much about love, y'all. It's not too much that I could say that I didn't learn in my singleness, because the majority of everything I learned about love was what I learned as a single woman. And I know that sounds bizarre and that sounds crazy because we think that marriage is the apex, but really it's your single life that is your apex. That is where you do all your learning. That is where you get to cheat. That's where, not cheat on people, y'all. I mean, cheat sheets. I mean, like lay around and kind of have time to mess things up and make mistakes without someone else being there to have to fix the broken pieces. Because finding out that you're a liar inside of a relationship is probably not a good place to find out that you're a liar. Finding out that you may have, weird kinks and things about your personality or maybe bipolar, probably not a good time to find that out after someone puts a ring on your finger. You need to do the work before you get into a relationship. So once again, these are my love lessons. I love you ladies, and I thank you guys for tuning in. I wanted it to be really short tonight to share with you guys a little bit. This is like a little sneak peek into what the vow will bring to you guys. And I know a lot of people are not on here tonight. And if you guys can share this video, the ones that are watching, please share this video, like the video, and invite someone in to the vow. We are coming up quickly on this. And I know that there are so many women in this in Girl Talk Inc. that are single and do want to be in relationships. And I think that this is going to kickstart it so well for you ladies to get y'all on the right path to constructive and loving relationships. Because one thing to have a relationship, but to have a positive relationship is a whole nother level, right? So anyway, I love you guys. Ask me questions, leave me comments. And I hope you ladies have a wonderful night. I will be back next week with another therapist, and we will talk about the processes of adult and older children, how to manage your older kids, how to love them correctly, and what's going on with them mentally. I love you ladies, and I hope you like, share the video, and join me for our vision board party later on this month on January 23rd. All right. I love you, love you, love you. Have a good night.